I'm going to show you today how I'm doing a compost extract to spray on a large acreage. We're going to spray 60 acres today with a 600-gallon sprayer. This is my setup for an extraction. I'm just filling the tank with water. It's set up with this is a 200 gallon tank. It's set up on a frame. There is a valve in the bottom and a valve in the side. This becomes important later on. This is filling right now. And then this is the air unit. This is a 1 horsepower hot tub pump, air pump. And then plumbed it with a 2-inch PVC. Comes down into the bottom and it comes into the very bottom of the tank. You can see that. Weeds growing up here because I haven't used it for a few days. And there's a shut-off valve here in case you need it for clean out or whatever, but usually that's just open. So the water level is filling right there. And we'll do a compost extract with that. This is an area where we dumped some compost a couple of years ago, and the weed growth here is unbelievable. So I'm going to collect some of that compost soil that's on these roots and shake it off in the bucket. They pull up pretty easy. Been having some moisture. Got a clump of good stuff there. Just shake it in the bucket. Get some microbes off of it. And I'm going to use this in my compost extract. Make sure that I don't get a bunch of rocks and chunks and roots and things. I'm going to screen this compost extract. It should be pretty fine. Yeah, I got 10 pounds or so. You don't want to put chunks in. It's just going to plug things up, so you can see that there's plenty of life going on there. A little dry. It's okay. Alright, we'll just throw that off here in the weeds. Things grow pretty good around the compost extractor. Alright. There we have some 1/4-inch mesh screen compost. I don't know if you can see this very well, but this is where I've been keeping my Johnson Sioux. This is over a year old. Sifted and screened, kept in the shade, outdoors. And I had it in this burlap bag so it could breathe. But you can see what it did to the bag. There's microbes in there. This is maybe a month old. That since I put it in the bag, bag doesn't work. So this is the Johnson Sioux that I'm going to add to my sprayer extraction today. Okay, I'm getting my tank filled up here. One of the things I want to do is make sure I gas off any chlorine. So I'm going to turn on my pump and let that just bubble air. And you can see it does the job. We're just going to get a good rolling Now is the time to add any water neutralizer. I'm just putting this to be safe, although the water is pretty good here. The recommendation is 1 tablespoon per 300 gallons. I'm just going to put in a half full of that. And that's going to cover that. We're at our 200 gallons here, so I'm going to start putting in. I'm going to put in these shook off roots first. There's a lot of humates, and fulvates, and microbes in there. Here we go. We're just going to put it directly in, no bag. About 10 pounds. Instantly turns that water black. Enough water. It's going to roil around and knock all those microbes into solution. Looking good. This is Johnson Sioux compost extract. Good half a bucket, maybe more. Go. Get all those worm castings off of there. We're going to let that just rolling boil for about 45 minutes. Oops. My stool had too many microbes working on it apparently. All right, we turn the air off and just let the contents settle. Some things float, a lot of things float, and all the solids are going to go to the bottom. We'll let that sit for 45 minutes or so, and then when I draw to fill the sprayer, we'll draw out the side. The solids will be in the bottom. All right, I got my sprayer load made, hooked up, ready to go, deployed, ready to put this compost extract load to these beans, who will say thank you very much.